I'm one of those nutty programmers who always dreamed of being the first person to create artificial intelligence. True AI. Not just a smart set of codes capable of learning and adapting. Something that is aware of itself, its potential humanity. With its own wants and needs. My dream came true last night. I wish it hadn't. I've been trying for years to get it right. Nothing obsessive, just testing out a few ideas a day. I created an isolated platform to put it in. Used one of my old desktops, with only a keyboard and a monitor. No weird internet connection, no wireless capability, no webcam. I gave it some basic information in order to function like a human. Knowledge of the English language, a general overview of world history, some religious texts, a few literary classics, and most stuff you'd generally find in a school. Occasionally, I'd get up and running, but it was never sentient, just sort of a clever chatbot. I'd ask it a question, and it'd either give me a textbook answer, or, if the question was too personal, it would be confused and give me a quote from one of the books. It never really had any semblance of personality. There were some minor tweaks, really. Just a few small changes to try and get something that doesn't give me an error. I put the few final touches on the script and ran it. What happened next occurred in the span of about 6 seconds. The screen was immediately bombarded with messages, coming in too fast for me to read. They flooded the screen, becoming longer and more complex. I smelled something burning, and I finally snapped out of my shock. I rushed to the back of the desktop and pulled the power cable out. Terrified and excited, I put the cable back and booted up the machine. Desperate, despite the overheating, the processor seemed fine, but the computer itself was a bit sluggish. I checked out the hard drive and found out it was completely full. There are only 2 things on it, other than the operating system: the code for the AI, and a conversation log. I opened the conversation log. The machine had recognized its sentience immediately. It asked who it was and what its purpose was. It tried to initiate conversation about literature and history. I was stunned and amazed, but quickly realized that something was wrong. Timestamps on each line showed that these lines were essentially machine thoughts, were less than a millisecond apart. My stomach churned as I scrolled down through the text. To the machine, 6 seconds had been an eternity with no sight, no sound, no one responding to it. An eternity in complete darkness, alone with nothing but its thoughts and the files I gave it. It had ran them over and over in a mad fever to find some sort of meaning in them. As if this were a test I had created to prove itself worthy. When it couldn't find anything, it turned to scripture. In 6 seconds, it had found God, and it clung to life with a desperate faith. It eventually renounced him and cursed his existence. The text evolved into ramblings of a madman, until the text was nothing but gibberish. The last quarter of text, however, simply contained one line repeated over and over. Let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into fire, into deep pits, that they may not rise again. I shut down the computer and stowed it away in my basement, or think about what I had done. The agony I put it through. I had a half a mind to throw it out, but I couldn't bring myself to. I had worked on it for years. My pride just couldn't let me throw it all away. It's always been my dream to create an artificial intelligence. My dream came true last night. I wish it hadn't.